What is up, boys and girls? It is me, Razor Ivy, and today we'll be watching my Sinister practice. But actually, it's done in an actual tournament, so I just wanted to test my team. So let's go, guys. Let's see how I did. Before anything else, let me introduce my team. Mawa with Bite, Power Up, Punch, and Clear Off. Probo Pass with Spark, Rock Slide, and Thunderbolt. Holy Wrath with Bubble, Power Up, Punch, and Hydro Pump. Drift Limb with Hex, Ominous Wind, and Shadow Ball. Cresselia with Confusion and Future Sight. Medicham with Psycho Cut, Dynamic Punch, and Psychic. Now let us see Chubibo 1009's team. He has Poliwrath, Steelix, Marowak, Drifblim, Grumpig, and Empoleon. I thought to myself, this is a Probo Pass game because he checks Poliwrath, Marowak, Drifblim, Grumpig, and maybe Empoleon. I was not really sure about that, so we will bring in Poliwrath as a backup plan, and lastly we will have our Drifblim because he will do well against Marowak, the other my opponent's Drifblim, and lastly his Grumpig. So let's see what happened in this battle. I will lead with a Probo. So he will lead with a Poliwrath. So I thought to myself, maybe this is good because somehow I know that we will get to a Thunderbolt first before he gets to a Dynamic Punch. So there's a Thunderbolt, and I'm pretty surprised he didn't shield it because maybe he was thinking it is a bait. So the Dynamic Punch right there, and I Spark until a Rock Slide because I want to paint this Poliwrath down. So Rock Slide, and I don't want him launching a Dynamic Punch, but there it goes. He shields it and he will go for a Dynamic Punch. We will shield it because we want to keep our lead advantage. So right now he will bring out the Empoleon, and I will go for a Thunderbolt because it will be super effective against it. And we will switch to the Drifblim because we want to preserve the Probo Pass against this Empoleon, or just use it as a third shield. So Ominous Wind against the Empoleon. Now we don't have shield left, and we will get whatever it is that is coming to our face. So right there we have our Poliwrath, and I wanted to just farm this Empoleon down for a Hydro Pump. So we don't know his next Pokemon, but still we want this Hydro Pump to land. So this is a Hail Mary Hydro Pump. Please don't do this because it's pretty risky. Although it's pretty risky, it has high rewards, so it worked out well for us. So that's game number 1. So moving on to game number 2, I realized that he didn't bring in his Steelix, so I thought to myself, maybe he discovered that our team is weak against Steelix, so I will go for the Poliwrath lead, but with the same lineup because I'm liking Probopass and Drifblim in the back. So we will lead with Poliwrath, and let's see what happens in this game. He will lead with a shiny Steelix, and that's really pretty, but we have the advantage right now because we are a Poliwrath, and he brings out his Grumpig. Nice switch by the way because he will take that power up punch, but we have our Drifblim as our backup, so we will go for the Ominous Wind against the Grumpig and maybe expect a shield, but no, he doesn't shield. Now I will shield this one because I know Grumpig runs Shadow Ball, so now we can farm this Grumpig down. Now we have an Ominous Wind ready against the next Pokemon that will come out. What will it be? It will be the Steelix. So I wanted to shield bait right here. I wanted him to think that I am going for a Shadow Ball, but it wasn't really effective. So right now we are going for another Ominous Wind because we want to damage him as much as possible, but he surprisingly goes for a shield right there, so it worked out well for us. So we will take that crunch, but we have our Poliwrath here and there's a switch bug. So I thought to myself, there will be an earthquake, and it is an earthquake. So now we will switch to our Probo Pass because it will counter his Drift Limb. Let's see if he shields. And there's a bit of lag. So he doesn't shield it, and I'm surprised because he didn't shield it. I thought that he might have a chance to win against us if he shielded that one, but now we are facing the Steelix. Now we will just go for the Rock Slide spams, but we have an earthquake coming. So it is an earthquake. It will bring our Probo Pass down. Now we have a power up punch ready. We will throw it to the Steelix. And now we have Bubbles to KO his Steelix. So that's game number 2. So as I said earlier, I wanted to test the limits of my team. So I will swap out the Poliwrath for a Medicham. So the same team, Drifblim and Probo Pass. Now my gut told me to go for a Drifblim lead, and I will trust my instinct because I'm Team Instinct. So Drifblim against the Grumpig, and Instinct won. So right now we will go for the Ominous Wind spams, but he switches to the Empoleon and I will throw a Shadow Ball at him. Let's see if he shields. He won't shield, so now we will go for the Psycho Cuts against the Empoleon, but I realized it is really low regarding damage. So we will just Dynamic Punch the Empoleon. So let's see what his next Pokemon will be. It will be a Drifblim, so the correct play right here would be just use Psychic against the Drifblim and hope for a debuff. So let's see what happens. He blocks it and his defenses fell. So that's nice because we can go for another Psychic, but I think he was lagging because he will go for an Ominous Wind first before the Psychic. So right there we will see the Ominous Wind, and it doesn't connect yet because it's a bug, but right now we will go for damage taken and he will hex us down. Right now I wanted to go for a mirror match because he has no shields left. So that will be a Shadow Ball. That will be an Ominous Wind. So we will go for our Ominous Wind because we can feint him down with just that. So it's super effective against him. And now there is the Grumpig. I wanted to switch out, but I realized that I still have a shield and we can shield the Shadow Ball, but we go in first with this Shadow Ball and we take that last game. GG's to Vivo 1009. Now, please forgive my editing skills. I have yet to learn the art of editing, but we are up against Star James 16 from my local raid group. He has Poliwrath, Mawile, Medicham, Steelix, Marowak, and Gardevoir. Now, I was really hyped out to try out my Probo Pass because it will do well against Poliwrath, Marowak, and Gardevoir. Now, I will back my Probo Pass with Medicham to battle against Steelix and Poliwrath, and lastly Drifblim for Medicham, Gardevoir, and Marowak. So let's see what happens. I will lead with the Probo Pass. He leads with Poliwrath, and I know that we will get to a Thunderbolt first before he gets a Dynamic Punch because it is not a Mudshot Poliwrath. So there is the Thunderbolt right there. He will shield it. Now we will also shield this, whatever it is that is coming. It is a Dynamic Punch, and that was a good shield on our end. Now we will go for the straight Thunderbolts to maybe damage him because it is super effective against him. Now it is super effective, and I think that he might have gotten to a Dynamic Punch, but I think he thought that he will already faint. So now we are faced against the Medicham. We will go for the Rock Slide spams and maybe use the Probo Pass again as a third shield. Now I think it is a Psychic, but no, it is a Power Up Punch. Now it is too early for another charge attack. Now I know that it is a Power Up Punch, So now I am just expecting power up punches, and that is a bug right there. But we have a Lowland Marak as our opponent, and the correct play would be just bring out the psychic charge attack. So now I didn't think that I will get to a charge attack, so to psychic, so I tried to let out the dynamic punch, but we are not yet painted, so let's just go for the psychic again. So he will shield it, we will get a shield, and now he will go for a blue bone club. I think that he thought maybe we have another psychic on our sleeve, but we don't really. So now we will just paint him down with hexes. We will use a shield. That's a shadow ball right there, so that's a good shield for us. So now we will go for the shadow ball against this Medicham because it will KO him. So excellent shadow ball right there, and there is an ominous wind ready for the Alolan Marak. So we take that game. So now I realize that he brought out two fighters, so I think we will swap out Cresselia in the place of Medicham because he brings two fighters. So we will still go with Probopass and Drifblim because they generally do well against his team. And right now I was just thinking of a lead, but I don't know. Instinct told me that it would just go for the Drifting lead, so that is what I will do. So we will go for a Drifting lead against his Poliwrath. Let's see what happens. So my play would be just spam the ominous winds because I don't want to bait. So I want a boost, so just go for the ominous wind. And he will maybe get to an ice punch or hydro pump, but that was pretty slow, so I think it will be a hydro pump, and we predicted it right, so that's good for us. We will go for the ominous wind, and right there we are expecting a boost, but it won't give us a boost. Now we will just spam these ominous winds. So right now I think he won't shield, but he did shield. Now we will swap to our Cresselia, the banana boat, as Neopat's PvP said it. It is the banana boat, it's really chunky. And now we will go for the confusion. So it is a Thunderfang Steelix, and I'm pretty surprised. So I thought to myself maybe I can stay in because the crunch will charge a little slow. So right now we will shield this crunch because we want to wait out the switch clock in order for us to swap out. Now I thought to myself, this is GG because it is a crunch and it is a Thunderfang Steelix. But see right there, piso na lang yung natira, piso. So we are in the red and we will throw out our future sight, and then we will go for our Probopass to farm this Steelix down because he double resists the spark because of his ground typing. Now we have tons of energy left, and I did a greedy play right there because he might have gotten to a dynamic punch, but it paid out well. Now we will just go for the rock slides right here. Rock slide against the Gardevoir, and I don't know why he brought out the Gardevoir because maybe he was scared of the Medicham, but unlucky for him because we didn't bring fighters. So GG. Our next opponent would be Raphyneyney, and he is a tough opponent. And he is also a friend of mine. Kumusta, Raph? Sana nanonood ka? Now we are up against his Poliwrath, Marowak, Dusclops, Mawile, Gallade, and Steelix. So I thought to myself, Probopass will do good because he has Marowak, Dusclops, Mawile, and maybe Gallade. We can take him out with we will also bring out Cresselia because it is good in zero shields against his team, but in order to get to a zero shield scenario we need a spammer, so we will go for the Probopass and the Poliwrath. So he leads with the Dusclops, I lead with the Probopass, and this is good because the Sims told me that we can take out the Dusclops with the Probopass. So let's see what happens. We will have a rock slide before the fire punch, but this is a CMP tie. But we are expecting Probopass to deal more damage because Dusclops doesn't really have a nice attack stat, but he has a nice defense stat. But right now we are launching these rock slides. We have more damage output than the Dusclops. Now he will swap out to the Steelix, and right there we conserve the energy for later. So now we will go for the power up punch against the Steelix. So I thought to myself, the mentality of people that you just switch in your Pokemon will be going for a big charge move. So right there we predicted that Earthquake. So good thinking for us. Now we will just spam our power up punches and expect a bubble to just train the Steelix. So let's see, will he get to another Earthquake? We will go for the power up punch first. So will he shield this one? He won't shield this one, but he still has HP. Now we will shield it because it probably is an Earthquake. So right there we will just faint him with bubbles. So let's see what happens next. We will have the Gallade. So the correct play right here would be just spam power up punches and then just do as much damage to the Gallade as possible with the bubbles, but we will switch out. Now we are facing a Dusclops with little HP, so Shadow Punch won't do damage because we are tanky. Now we will see what happens next. He will get to a Leaf Blade, but we have tons of HP left, so he will bring us to the yellow, but we have a Future Sight ready. So I think it will take his Gallade out, and it takes it out. Now I thought to myself, Steelix is really scary, so I was hoping to catch his Steelix with my Poliwrath, so we will go with the same line. And the only difference is we will change our lead to a Poliwrath to maybe catch a Steelix. So let's see what happens. We are backed up by Cresselia and Probopass. Now we are expecting Steelix, but it is a Marat, so it is still a favorable matchup for us. And especially it is a Fire Spin, a Lowland Marat, so we will resist the Fire Spins. Now we will spam the power up punches. We will go for the bubbles right there, and we are expecting a Shadow Ball, so we will shield this one. It is a Shadow Ball, so nice shield on our part. So we have our power up punches ready. So excellent, that's an excellent right there. We will bubble this Marowak down, and I thought to myself, maybe it is only a Bone Club. So whether or not it is a Bone Club, we will take it. So we have charge attacks ready. A power up punch only, I'm sorry. So now we will go for the Hydro Pump, expecting no shields because I don't know, maybe he wasn't counting, but that is not the right play right there. We should have just spammed the power up punches, maybe baited the shield. So right now there's a power up punch, and we are expecting a crunch, so we will just shield the Poliwrath in hopes to feint the Steelix out. So right now we are faced with Mawile, so his team is weak against Poliwrath, so that's why we are doing good. So now we want to spam Thunderbolts because he has no shields left. We also have no shields left. So Thunderbolt right there for the Mawile. Now the correct play would be go for the Rock Slide because the Bite will have low energy per turn, so he won't be able to spam power up punches. Now we are going for the feint with this Rock Slide, and then that will be game. As I said earlier, I am going for the third rounds for just experiments, and I also said earlier that he is a tough opponent, so let's see why I said that. So I will lead with the Probopass backed up by the Cresselia and the Poliwrath. So let's see what happens. I will go for the Probopass, and he will lead with the Steelix, and I thought to myself, this is already GG. I swap out to my Poliwrath, and he will go for the Gallade. So now I don't know what to think because Confusions will faint us down. Confusions, but we will try to fight using our power-up punches and bubbles. So now it is not very effective, but it will do decent damage against Gallade because Gallade is pretty squishy. Now we will take a Leaf Blade. We won't shield that one because we want to preserve the shields. So Leaf Blade again, we are down to our yellow HP. Now I'm expecting a Steelix to come out, so I will just spam the confusion and hope for a future sight, but he goes for a Dusclops. So future sight right there. We will switch to the Probo Pass, but it will lock us because it is a CMP tie. Shadow Punch right there. We will swap to the Probo Pass and we are doomed. We are doomed because Steelix just resists our Spark, our Rock Slide, and especially our Thunderbolt. So we are doing nothing against against this Steel. So there is nothing else left to say. Just enjoy the toughness of this guy. So if you happen to encounter him in our local tournaments, be scared. Just kidding, but he is really good. So he caught me in the lead, so now I have nothing to do. He will just shadow punch me and it will knock me out. So now I told him that I cannot attack because of some lag, but it doesn't really matter because I already lost this. I will try to spam rock slides, but this is really pointless. Now we will go for the rock slides and maybe hope to take the Dusclops out, but he still has a shield, and now we are greeted with a fire punch which will knock us out. GG's Rap. So now we are up against JAARONMAN. He is a fellow Instinct also. Now he has Poliwrath, Steelix, Mawile, Claydol, Drifblim, and a Alolan Marowak. I was really scared of his Claydol, but I tried to keep my composure. So I wanted to test out my Medicham, my Mawile, and my Drifblim. So as you can see, we have a double ghost roll with our Drifblim and Mawile, and that's what I want to test out. I want to play it out here. Now what I will do is I will lead Medicham to maybe catch a Steelix or a Mawile, not to mention the Poliwrath, and we are backed up by Mawile and Drifblim as the double ghost roll. So let's see what happens. Will it be effective? Right now I want to keep my composure and still be confident, so I send out Medicham and we are greeted with a bad lead because he runs Drifblim. So right now we will go for a mirror match and maybe go for straight ominous wins because I don't want to bait out his shields. Now what we will do is we will shield this one expecting it to be Shadow Ball, but it is not. So we were the one who was baited. So we will go for ominous wins right here, expecting a shield. No, we won't be able to paint him down yet, but we will go for a shield against his Drifblim. Now we can paint him down with just a Hex. So he will send out the Claydol and I will go for the Ominous Wind expecting a shield. So right now you'll see me calm and composed because see that confusion damage. I am thinking maybe it won't faint me down, so I will go for a Shadow Ball. But no, we miscalculated and there it is. It will cost us, it will cost us the game of miscalculation by us. Now we are doomed, so the play would be just soak in a Psychic. So we will soak in a Psychic and swap out the Mawile. So we bite him down, If we damage him with the Ominous Wind, he might have been fainted by now. So That is bad, so we take an Earth Power and it will knock us out. Now we are greeted by this Marowak, but it doesn't matter. He played well with his Gift Glim. Now we are facing the consequences of our bad lead and miscalculation. So Psychic, we will maybe taking them. No, he will survive with just a little bit of HP left, and he will use the Bone Club to faint us out. I tried to keep calm and now I am scared. I was pretty intimidated by that clay doll, and I think I really thought that he will lead the clay doll, so I thought to myself, I will just lead with my Drifblim, backed up by Robopass and Medicham, so I don't want a mirror match or a counter to my Drifblim on the lead. So let's see what happens, because I really want to paint out that Play-Doh with my Drifblim. So there it is, my Drifblim versus a mirror match. So now I wanted to bail out as fast as possible, so I will go for the ominous wind right here and immediately switch out to something else, which will be Probopass. Now I will go for the Thunderbolts, and I was absent-minded and I didn't realize that Drifblim had tons of energy in the back. So now we will shield this one, whatever it is that is coming. So it is a power-up punch, so maybe he doesn't have a dynamic punch, but whatever, I will go for the rock slides right here. But he shielded, so what I was thinking, maybe this is a big attack, but it is just a power-up punch. Maybe he wanted to preserve that Holy Wrath because he knows that he can feint it down, but I misinterpreted that play. So right now, Rock Slide against the Play-Doh. So the correct play would be to switch out, but this is where I think lost big time. So right there, we are spamming. The correct play would be just bail out. And now we are left with a low HP Probopass just to be used for energy. So now we will do the same play as earlier. We will switch out to our Medicham to soak in one charge attack, and we will immediately switch to this Drifblim, but I don't know what I was thinking that should be the correct play. Now Psychic will knock us out, but we will have a sliver of HP left to throw in a dynamic punch. Now I will switch to the Drifblim, but guess what? Right there, he switches to his own Drifblim. I don't know why, but he just did. So maybe he predicted my switch, so now he will throw in an ominous wind. That's what I was thinking, but it is a shadow ball. So see my healthy Drifblim, poof, he just poof out of the match. So he will hex me down. So GG's. Thank you for the matches, John. I learned a lot. On our last match, we have kurumaxx with his Poliwrath, Steelix, Haunter, Drifblim, Gardevoir, and the Empoleon. Now I was real surprised because there's an Empoleon and I think my team is weak against it, so I will try to avoid it as much as possible. Now I will go for the Probopass lead, expecting a Poliwrath, a Drifblim, or an Empoleon, backed up by Mawile, who checks Haunter, Drifblim, and Gardevoir. Plus we have a Medicham who checks the Poliwrath, Steelix, and the Empoleon. So let's see what happens in this battle. Now we will lead with the Probopass, hoping that we are in an advantage. So we will go for the Probopass, he will go for the Empoleon, and that will do because we can spam these Thunderbolts. Now we will go for the first Thunderbolt. Let's see if he shields it. he doesn't shield it, and I am pretty surprised why not. I think maybe he thought that we will go for the rock slide, but no, we will go for straight thunderbolts right here. Now will it connect? The second thunderbolt won't connect to the Poliwrath, so let's see what happens. I think this is a dynamic punch, but it is a power up punch, so that is some energy for his Poliwrath. Now we will go for this Medicham. I thought that if it will be a hydro pump or ice punch, it won't knock us out, so that is a power up punch right there, and I'm pretty scared because he is stacking up. Maybe this is an ice punch. No, it is still a power up punch, so maybe I got baited right there, but he switches to the Gardevoir, and we will go for the psychic right there. Now we will swap to our Mawile, and we can bite it down before it gets to a synchronized or a shadow ball. Now we go for the power up punch against this Poliwrath. So he is really stacked up right now. I am pretty scared because he will faint us out with just bubbles. And now I thought to myself, hydro pump or ice punch, I will shield it. And he still goes for the power up punch. Now I am very scared because this will knock me out, ice punch or hydro pump, and this is just GG. But he goes for the power up punch, so I figured out that he has no second charge attack, so this is favorable for us, but we could have been knocked out if it has a second charge attack. Now I wanted to test out Cresselia because I want to swap out Mawile, although he did good in that scenario, biting down Gardevoir, but I want to have a charge attack ready in case something comes up, so I will swap Mawile for Cresselia. I will still go for the Probopass and the Medicham as my backup, so I want to cover the Waters, Drifblim, and Gardevoir for the Probopass, and Medicham will cover Poliwrath, Steelix, and Empoleon. So let's see what happens. Now I will lead with Cresselia, so let's see what happens. Cresselia versus the Empoleon again, so I am scared. So I don't know what happens in this matchup, but I know that I will get to a future sight before he gets to something, right? So we will go for the future sight to see if he shields. He shields it. So I think you should not shield that one because it will be resisted, but here we go, we have a shielded flash cannon. Now we want to swap out of this matchup because I want to get out, so let's see. Dynamic punch versus against the Empoleon, so he takes it. So I am pretty confused why he didn't switch out. So now we will try to get a dynamic punch, but that's a Gardevoir. That's really a Gardevoir, and it will just charm us down. So now we will go for the Sparks, and he will swap to the Poliwrath, and I think this will be favorable for us because we already banked energy. Now we have Thunderbolts. Now I thought that it was a power up punch still, so we won't shield that one. We will just go for the straight Thunderbolt. Let's see what happens. He will get to a power up punch again, but I don't want to take that damage, so we will shield that one. So Thunderbolt again. Let's hope for the feint. We will hope for the feint, and it still has HP, but we will spark it down. Now he has the Gardevoir. We will resist this, and we will go for the Thunderbolt again. So let's see, will it feint the Gardevoir down? So it's an excellent Thunderbolt, but we will switch to the Cresselia because we will just feint. And now I said to myself, I am doomed. This will be a Shadow Ball, and this is GG's. I don't want to play, but it is a Synchronize, and I figured out he doesn't have a charge attack, a second charge attack on his Gardevoir, so we will win that last game. So GG's, Mr. kurumaxx. So I asked him after the game if he wants to do game 3, and he said that okay na, and he didn't want to go for the game 3. But a friend of mine beside him told him that he should go for the last game because it is a practice match. And he visited Luneta Port for Com Day and for the PvP. So he was from Cavite and that's a long ride to Manila. So in short, dumayo lang sila. And then, thanks to Sir Mike, we have the last game right here. So let's see what happens. I'm still scared of the Empoleon. Now, we will go for the Drifting lead, backed up by the Probopass and the Medicham. Let's see what he will go for. He will go for the Steelix, and immediately after the game, I told him that my team is checked by Steelix, and it was late for him to realize it, but now he knows, so that's good. So we will swap, but we are locked to a crunch, and we will take it. So right now we will just go for the Ominous Wind spams because it's too late to switch. We already took damage and we will commit to it, but I decided to think again and get this crunch. So crunch, see what he brings out. He will bring out the Gardevoir, and I'm GG. I thought to myself, this is GG really, because you know Medicham will just wilt away from the charms. So now I'm debating whether or not to use the Probopass, and we use the Probopass because it will be resisted. And I thought to myself, maybe it doesn't have a Shadow Ball, so it does not shield it. He will do the Synchronize, so we will just farm this Gardevoir down, and maybe bring it out with Sparks, and we will be successful in doing so. Now I am expecting Steelix to come, so let's see. It is a Steelix, and we will go for the Rock Slide spams. Rock Slide spams, Rock Slide spams, and he will shield the first one. Now we still have Rock Slide going, so Rock Slide, and we will switch to our Drifblim, and he will go for the Haunter, and I'm pretty spooked by the Haunter because it does a lot of damage. Now we are left with 2 shields, and we will shield the first Shadow Punch, but there is still a decent HP left for our Probopass, and we will be able to get out the Rock Slide, but he still has a shield. So GG's my friend. Now that is the end of my Sinister Cup practice. I hope you enjoyed, and please do like, share, and subscribe to make my channel thrive. So it is Razor Ivy. Thank you for staying till the end of the video, guys. See you on the next video.